Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our webinar, chapter 2. Today, we're going to discuss, a lot about technology and how it helps, life to make it easier in terms of business. Yeah. We have, Tally on board with us today. And like we all know how, it's such a useful, you know, requirement that we have that we use in terms of accounting, bookkeeping, and everything, and how it Tally makes it so simple for businesses, to keep everything up to date. So we're going to discuss two different, you know, uh, side of the business. Where I will be telling you how, to start an e-commerce business, what are the requirements, how everything works, initial, what you need to do to, before you start your business. And Mr. Mohammed Salman is going to, introduce you to Tally on how, how simple Tally makes when it's incorporated in your business. Let's start with perks of starting an online business, right? Um, in terms of today, how last year we went through a drastic change in our lifestyle, where COVID hit us, and we had to maintain social distancing. The offices were shut, and we didn't know what, how to run the business, how we're going to connect with people, how are we going to sell our products. And of course, e-commerce platform was popular. People used to do that, but for now, right now, in this situation, so many business have gone online last year. Being a business consultant, we have a lot of inquiries where people are, asking about e-commerce platforms or digital licenses, basically media licenses, where you can sit at the convenience of your home and reach out to so many people. It's a huge market when we talk about online business. Yeah, some of the popular licenses in UAE is e-commerce, digital marketing. Since e-commerce is so popular, of course, you require, a digital marketing, to go on board, where you are marketing your products online instead of, marketing it on ground. You're marketing online, where the reach is, 100 times better than what you do on ground. Advertising, events organizing. We've gone from regular events where we attend events to online virtual events, where hundreds of people can attend at the same time from different part of the world. There's no restrictions on who can attend. They need to visit Dubai, they need to, or visit your country where you're organizing this event. So online events, virtual events are very popular. Computer programming is also one of the very popular, licenses where you can create digital applications, games, a lot of things. Influencer, content creator is also very popular nowadays, where everyone, there are so many influencers, content creators on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, a lot of places where content creators are there. It was not required. It was not a legal requirement to have a trade license for them. But now, as per UAE law, if you are an influencer or a content creator, you need to have a valid trade license to do that. So it's a these are very popular licenses, businesses in UAE at the moment. They are trending, they are booming. Every other client wants to set up from one of these licenses. Today we're going to focus on how e-commerce license can be set it up in UAE, and what you need to do. Okay, what is e-commerce? When people say a lot of things, e-commerce, what do you understand by e-commerce, right? So when we say e-commerce, it's basically electronic commerce is a model where individual or let's say a corporate are allowed to sell products online. It can be business to business, it can be business to consumer, it can be consumer to consumer. It totally depends, who are your target audience. So that's what you mean by e-commerce, where you're selling your products over internet. Okay. Now, benefits of e-commerce. What do you think are the benefits of e-commerce? How can an online business help us to run a successful business, right? What are the benefits of setting up an e-commerce business? It's the fastest and the easiest way to when you want to buy and sell your products, right? It's the easiest way. It's the easiest process to do that. Yeah, you're buying and selling of products. Your storage and your product listing. Product listing can be hundreds of products on your platform. You can list 100 of products in your platform and your on your website, right? It's cost effective. You do not need to have a huge retail space or a retail store where you're paying rent, you're paying electricity, you're paying 5 salespeople. You have a backend team in e-commerce, and then you have a backend where everything is managed. Your online payments, your product listing, your product, how you want to make your product look, description, everything can be mentioned on this platform. Again, affordable advertising and marketing. When we say affordable advertising and marketing, it is, when we do, and let's say we want to launch a product on, on a local market, you tend to organize a huge event, a product launch, you're inviting hundreds of people, you're providing, F&B, all those costing are, part of it. It's a huge cost to do that, depending on what scale you are planning to launch the product. But when you're doing it online, you can be targeting in different countries. You can target, your campaigns can be running in different countries at a very minimum cost, where you've reached to hundreds, thousands of people in that minimum cost on how much you're going to, spend on ground marketing. Flexibility for customers. Again, like we said, the reach, right? I can reach through my online, e-commerce platform. I can reach to clients in US, clients in UK, in Canada, in India, anywhere. I don't have to be, like restricted to only UAE. Reach limit is, unlimited. There's no restriction on that. So those are the perks and benefits of, how why e-commerce platform is booming at the moment. Product and price comparison. So usually when we look at some of the very popular websites that we all use, you see you have a product listing that you've done, which is your product, and then you have you can have couple of options where you can compare the cost of products from other vendors, the pricing of from the other vendors. You can do that so easily online. You don't have to go from store to store to do the comparison of pricing. Yeah. uh, Faster response to buyer and market demands. Basically, let's say today there is a demand for a certain product. You can immediately add that product to your website, and you have that product in your product listing. You can sell it through online without any hassle. Your e-commerce license also allows you to import and export your products. For example, if you would like to have a storage facility and you want to store your products in UAE, you have that facility to do that. Your e-commerce license allows you to give you an import and export, basically a custom code where you will be allowed to import and export products in UAE. These are some of the benefits that an e-commerce platform can bring into our life, making our life very easy. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of you have thought about, how I'm going to start an e-commerce business. I don't know anything about the market, who should I contact, and all of these things, right? So in this next discussion that we're going to have, I'm going to guide you in terms of, how you can start your e-commerce business with basic requirements, right? Okay. You need to understand what your company's description, purpose, goal is going to be, right? What kind of what kind of platform you're going to be, what kind of products are going to be on the platform, what you want to sell. Yeah. Do a detailed evaluation of where you're planning to start the company in terms of starting your license, right? Let's say if you start your license in UAE, right, you need to do an evaluation of who your competitors are in terms of e-commerce business. Very, very popular e-commerce platforms are in UAE. Their offices in our UAE. So you need to know what kind of competitors you're going to be competing with, what kind of market you're going to target, what are your what is the relevant market trend that is going on right now, what are the products that people are asking or are in demand at the moment, right? And in terms of, let's say, in next 2 years or next 5 years, how many products you can be added to your e-commerce platform, and what are the possible demands of products that can be asked in the future. These are very important factors when you're considering to start an e-commerce business, right? How are you going to promote your brand, right? What how different are you going to be from the existing e-commerce business? Is there an extra service that you're adding? What kind of products? Is this the same products that your competitors have? You're going to list the products here. Why would a consumer get the products from from you and not from your competitor? So all these things are very important in terms of how you're going to promote your brand. Do you have have you evaluated, or do you have a strategy to do that based on your what kind of people you want to target? Is it the high-end market, high-end products you're going to sell on your e-commerce platform, or is it going to be a day-to-day products that you're going to sell on your platform? Right, so that is something which is very, very important. These things you can discuss with, if you have a business partner, you can discuss with your business partner, you can discuss with professionals, who professionals like us, who set up business consulting, who also does marketing and planning for you. That can be social media, launching your brand, everything. Yeah. Management team, like I said, a team that can manage all of this. Of course, starting a business on Instagram is something very basic. Everyone sells like a few things on Instagram, but when you're going full on board, right, you have basically a e-commerce platform that you want to launch. There are a lot of things to consider. Who's going to handle your backend, right? Who's going to create your marketing strategies? Who's going to do your operationals? Let's say someone placed an order. How is the entire, from placing an order to delivering that product to your customer, how that services will be provided, what all things will be included, in terms of delivery, in terms of packaging, all these things needs to be thought of, put it down on paper, make a business plan for it, which is, very important, right? Um, Financial plan. Again, when people say, oh, e-commerce platform, it's very easy, it's not very expensive. Yes, it's very easy to get a license for it. I wouldn't say it's not expensive, because there's a lot of cost in terms of when you consider e-commerce platform. You have to think about it, right? The topmost is your website, right? E-commerce platform or the website is very different from a regular website. There are a lot of things that goes in the backend. When you just see a display, a picture of a product, and then you click on it, you think about, oh, I want to place an order, it goes to backend. So your payment gateway, all these things are part of when you are considering or thinking about starting an e-commerce business, right? uh, how many people you're going to be getting on board, their salaries, your product listing. Are you going to keep the products in store, or is it going to be as per the demand? Whenever the demand comes, the supply comes. Is it going to be like that, or is it going to be you have a storage facility where your products are there stored? Whenever there's a requirement, it goes out from your storage, packed and then delivered to your customer, right? Also, how the products are going to be delivered, that's again a delivery cost that is included, that needs to be considered when you think of an e-commerce platform. So what I'm trying to tell here is, when someone says e-commerce platform is so easy and so simple, it is not. There are a lot of things that you need to consider. Sorry, there are a lot of things that you need to consider when you start a business, especially e-commerce, because a lot of technicality goes into it. You need a plan, a business plan, an action plan that can be taken forward. Yeah. Sorry. That can be taken forward. you know um, how your business is going to run, everything needs to be thought of, right? So that's what I wanted to discuss and highlight in terms of e-commerce platform. If you guys have any questions related to e-commerce, you can ask me, and I can answer that for you. Anyone has any questions that needs to be asked, that needs to be answered, I'm here to help you and answer your questions. So we have like 5 minutes, and we can quickly go through your questions if you have any. Any other any questions, guys, in terms of e-commerce business? Okay, so we have a question. Why do you feel e-commerce is a boom or useful in today's time, right? In terms of current situation that we have, where we need to be maintaining our social distancing, where we need to take care of a lot of things, wear mask, wear gloves, sanitize. Um, when we are going out in public places, a lot of people are scared because if there are, before we didn't care of how many number of people are there in the store. But now you think twice when you look at the store, and if there are 10 people already or 5 people already, you'll be like, oh, you know what? I'll come back to it. It's fine. But when it comes to e-commerce, personally, okay, I shop online. I'm a huge fan of shopping online. At on a Friday, you're chilling and you're like going through stuff that you want to buy. What are the options available? So it's convenient. It's delivered to your doorstep. Okay, the payment is done online. There is no physical contact that you have, you know uh, where you can be affected uh, in terms of current scenario. So and you can reach up to in different part of the world. Your target audience can be different, cannot be, oh, I have, my shop is in Dubai Mall, and people need to come to Dubai Mall to buy the products that I'm selling. I can sell the products to anyone, anywhere, in any part of the world. So that's why I feel that it's so useful, in today's time, and it's one of the very popular businesses going on a boom right now. How to search for unique products and how to source them. um okay, so Bhupali, hi, and I want to basically unique products, sourcing products is first you have to, have some knowledge about what products you want to sell. There are a lot of options available, online where you can source products. It could be through, a lot of websites that have popular websites where you can buy products in bulk, or you can reach out to the manufacturer directly. But it also depends, what kind of products are you looking at? What line of business are you looking? Are you looking at something which is basically, grocery products? Are you looking at clothing? Are you looking at, shoes? What kind of products are you looking at? So that totally depends on, what kind of products I want to sell. And then accordingly, you do the market research on those kind of products. Right. In terms of also, if you have a specific area that you're planning to target, you can do a market research where what kind of products people are not being able to source or find or get easily. And you could have a couple of answers there where you do a market research and you find out about the products that are not available in those areas. Let's say if you're targeting UAE market, what products are not available easily here. So through market research is how you can source new products and unique products, and search what kind of products are not available. So I hope I've answered your question. Guys, any other questions? We'll move on to our next session, which is with Tally, Mr. Mohammed Salman. These are basically our contact details if you want to get in touch with us, and you can get in touch through emails and contact through calling. Yeah. So we have Mohammed Salman, who is the country head in UAE at Tally Solutions. Hi, Salman, welcome.
Hi, Hetal. Thank you for the informative session.
Salman, yes, all over to you now. I think the audience is very keen on knowing how Tally can help, a business like e-commerce, or, individual businesses where we don't have a huge team, accounting team, and how Tally simplifies, a lot of business models in terms of that. So over to you. And yeah, I'm going to go on mute now, right?
Yeah. Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today, giving us giving us some time to take you through the important aspects of e-commerce and also the role of technology in business. Right. I have access. Yeah. So I'm going to be basically taking you through the role of technology in fueling your dream business. So we are expecting that all of you are entrepreneurs here and looking forward to setting up your business. Hetal has already taken you through a wonderful session on how to set up your business, what to look at in terms of establishing your brand, what to look at in terms of setting up your management team and lining up your products and going to market, etc. What I will be taking you through is how you can implement a small ERP system in order to run the operations of your business and then get maximum value out of it, and also stay in control while doing the same, right? But before we go ahead, I will be taking you through, I'll just introduce you to what Tally does. So basically, Tally is an ERP solution provider. We excel in providing ERP solutions to small and medium businesses, businesses which are just starting up, to businesses which have grown, and we scale along with the business, right? We are a plug and play product, so it is not very difficult to implement the system. We are a global company. We have more than 4 international offices, and our head office is in India. We've been in the market since 1986 and are currently holding close to 2 million registered customers. So that's 2 million businesses who are already being powered by Tally solutions, right? We have an award-winning partner network of 27,000 partners. Out of that, almost 400 partners are in the Middle East. So you have a vast network of people who are ready to help you and implement the system, help you customize the system, and also help you get maximum value out of your business, right? Apart from that, just to give you some feedback, some information on the R&D team, we have a 400 strong R&D team, which is sitting in Bangalore in our India office, right? And they are continuously striving to improve and get you better features, better response from the product, and also keep on optimizing the system in order to help you work on it better, right? So I'll be breaking down the whole session into 3 basic steps. So as an entrepreneur, what do you want? The first and the foremost thing that any entrepreneur wants is to be able to generate their invoice, right? You have gotten into business, you want to be able to generate your invoice. That should be the first step, right? I should be able to generate an invoice, and that I should be able to do without having to do a lot of configurations, without having to learn how to implement a system. So what basically a system like Tally does is that we help you, we give you an out of the box product which you can just plug and play. So you can just install, you can activate the license. As soon as you activate the license, it will ask you for your company name and details, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can you can register your own company and make your invoice even without having to go through a time-consuming process of configuring the license, right? That is what most of us expect when we think of ERPs and when we think of systems, or when we think of accounting softwares. We think that we'll have to go through multiple training sessions in order to learn how to use it. But the beauty of implementing a system like Tally is that you get to install and generate your invoice within seconds, right? We have a fully flexible system. So even though it is an out of the box product, you will be able to configure your own logo. You will be able to create the various products. You will be able to name them how you want to name them. You will be able to use whatever units of measure you want to use and generate the invoice at the same time. And if you're in the business of retail, especially in the Middle Eastern region, then you will also need to generate bilingual tax invoices. If you are a taxable entity, you will have to generate tax invoices, and also in retail you will have to generate Arabic and English invoice, and a system like Tally helps you do that, right? The second step of having or implementing a system, that it should enable you to work from anywhere, and while doing that it should be through a network which is very safe, secure, and compliant, right? Because it is your business data, it is confidential data. You want it to be over a secure remote secure network, so that you can access your data, and at the same time be assured that your data is not visible to anyone else, as it is confidential and it is key for your business growth, right? While doing this, the system should also allow you to have all your business reports on your fingertips. You should be able to log in, you should be able to view all your important business reports, all your incoming outstandings, your payments that are due, your profit and loss, your profit and loss, your balance sheet, and things like that. What are the stock items in your inventory? What are the orders that are pending, and so on, right? Plus, if you are having multiple branches and your business has multiple branches in different locations, it should help you decentralize your books of accounts so that you can access multiple branches at the same time. Now, another important thing is, despite technology taking leaps and bounds, there are still a lot of data breaches that you hear happening, right? And business data is very sensitive. So I would always recommend that you go only with tried and tested softwares, which ensure that your business data is secure, and that you and only you have access to it, right? Please don't go with third party softwares that have not proven themselves in the market, because your loss of business data will be very harsh. And if you're not able to control that, or if you're not assured, then please do not go with such systems. Only go with systems who ensure the security of your data. The third and most important point, I think, of implementing a system is that it should be able to give you and represent insightful reports for making key business decisions, right? Now, if you have inventory, the system should show you what is the current stock status. Now, when we talk about current stock status, it should give you what items are in your inventory currently, what all are the items that you have ordered, what all are the items that you have already sold but might not have delivered, so that you get a realistic and real-time figure of what is the position of your inventory in your godown. Right. Apart from that, it should also give you another important report called the aging of stock, which tells you that if you have a particular inventory, how long has it been in your inventory? Because the longer a particular item stays in your inventory, you start losing money on it. The cost of that item starts increasing, and finally, when you sell it, you might not be very profitable. So you should be able to age your stock and make a correct decision on how long it needs to be there, how fast it moves, so that you know when to buy it and when how long it will take for you to dispose of that inventory, right? Apart from that, the system should also help you arrive at an accurate cost of the item. So most of us, when we think of the cost of the item, we think of what price we have bought it at, but that is not true. When we look at the cost of the item, it should also include the miscellaneous and the costs that are incurred while you transport or ship that item. So it might be your customs, it might be the cost of storing that item within your godown and so on, right? So it should give you each and every cost of transportation, cost of loading, etc. So we should be able to calculate the accurate cost of the item, so that when we know that when we sell that item, whether we are profitable or not, right? Also, we should be able to identify, or the system should help you identify when you have to buy a particular item. That basically means that depending on your sales figures, depending on how the trend is in your sales, you should be able to define, and the system should be able to tell you or give you a notification saying that a particular item is going to move out or get over in your inventory, and it takes you a certain number of days to restock it. So it is the right time for you to reorder, and what is the quantity that needs to be reordered. Now, apart from maintaining all your inventory, the next main cornerstone is profitability, right? You have to be on point in terms of how profitable your business is. And when we talk about profitability, we should not just look at overall profitability, we should also be looking at invoice-wise profitability. So every time I raise an invoice to a customer, whether I should be able to track what all costs I have incurred, the items that I have sold, and depending on what price I have sold it at, how much profit am I making on that invoice, right? I should be able to distinguish on what products give me the highest margin or give me the highest return, and on what volume do I sell it. So I might have products in my inventory which are high volume but give me very low margins, whereas there might be some products, depending on what kind of business you are in, which gives you high returns and high margins but might move very low, right? Another important aspect of maintaining profitability is focusing on your inventory turnover. How soon do you rotate all the items in your inventory? How soon does a particular item in your inventory take to move out or be sold and then come back into your inventory, right? So the lower the time of your inventory turnover, the more profitable you should be. So these are some aspects that usually business tend to overlook. And when you implement a system, The advantage that you have is that the system tells you all these details. It gives you all these details which you might already have, but you might not look at. So having a system gives you access to all these informations and keeps you on point with all of these, right? Another important aspect, especially when doing business in the Middle East or in UAE or in Saudi, Bahrain, Oman, etc., is that most of the businesses here run on post-dated checks, right? We have a culture of giving out post-dated checks and receiving post-dated checks, which acts as security in terms of delivering goods or receiving goods. So the system, whichever system you implement, or you have to have a system in place which helps you track all the money that is coming in form of post-dated checks, and all the money that you have paid out in and as instruments of post-dated checks, so that you have a complete track of what is the current cash position in your company, right? Another important thing is to keep a watch on all your repeated transactions, so that it doesn't come in as a surprise. Repeated transactions might be uh, repeated bank transactions, repeated, you can put in your rent as a repeated transaction, which might come in every quarter. So you have a complete track on when these transactions are coming in and how much. It helps you forecast what is going to be your cash flow in the coming months, right? Also, if you have received an advance, how much advance you have received, against which invoice you have received. So tracking all that gives you an idea of which customers are, what kind of credit period you have with customer, so that you know that you have a healthy ratio of advance versus credit period that you are giving to your customers in order to maintain the health of your business, right? Apart from all this, you should also keep a regular watch on what are your monthly and quarterly trends in terms of your profit and loss, in terms of your movement of your inventory, in terms of what is the position of all your receivables and payables, so that you have a complete track of your cash flow and cash inflow and your cash outflow, so that you know what is the position of your company at any given month or any given quarter. Now, every time, see, the thing is, we all maintain accounts, but when we don't maintain accounts in a systematic manner or in a system, we tend to lose out on information which our business might tell us, right? A business talks to you. It tells you, depending on how much profit you do, depending on how frequently you rotate customers, how frequently you transact with customers, your business tells you certain things. And if you don't have a system in place, you might lose out on important information. So uh, a system like Tally will help you identify which customers you regularly transact with. So you can go back to these customers and tell them, hey, we have not had an invoice from you, or you've not bought a certain product from us from a very long time. So you might push offers to them. You might go and talk to them in order to see what's holding them back, or whether there's a concern with the price or concern with the quality of the goods that you've been shipping, so that you can regain the trust and build the relationship again. You can go ahead and see which customers are buying what kinds of product, and then slowly push them other products which are of the similar business line, and hence grow your business. Also, depending on which customers pay you regularly, you can extend them more credit, which might lead to customer delight. You can also ensure that you keep running offers with customers, so that they keep coming back to you and giving you more and more business, which helps your business grow. Right now, we've gone through the three basic steps, which is generating your first invoice, being able to work from anywhere, and staying relevant. Now, with the onset of VAT in the UAE, it is also very in the UAE. It's also there in Oman. It's coming up in Oman in next year. It's already launched in Saudi Arabia. It's launched in Bahrain. It's become key that all of us remain compliant, and a system should help you remain compliant at any given point of time. Now, I'll just take you through certain aspects of VAT. I'm sure you're already aware of VAT, which is value added tax. In the UAE, it is at 5%. depending on what product or what service you're dealing in. There are some key aspects of VAT that everyone should have in their or keep at the top of their mind while running their business. One is advances on VAT transaction. Advance VAT transactions are basically whenever you receive an advance, despite not having delivered a good or not having raised an invoice, all these transactions are VATable, and a system should be able to tell you that a particular advance you have received is VATable, and it should also be able to tell you how much amount of VAT you need to file. The system should also be able to generate something called a final audit file, which is required whenever you come under an audit from the tax authority. It should help you generate something called a VAT form 201, which is the VAT which gives you the details of all the input VAT and all the output VAT, and gives you, depending on how much input VAT and output VAT you've generated in the quarter or in the month, depending on when your filing is. It should give you whether you have to receive a tax refund or you have to pay tax to the government, right? Now, apart from this, one of the three key features that you should be looking at whenever you implement a tax system or a system that is helping you maintain tax is that it should have three basic characteristics, right? Prevention, detection, and correction. Prevention, basically, when we talk about, I'll take you through a little more detail, so we'll cover that a little later. And it should be an intuitive compliance manager, means it should tell you what all items are 5%. It should tell you whether the TRN number is entered correctly or not, whether you've missed out on certain key information that you need to fill in to submit tax details, etc. Right? Now, coming back to the three basic characteristics that you should be looking at whenever you implement a system which helps you be compliant. First is prevention. The system should tell you what mistakes you are making while you are making them. So it should prevent you from doing mistakes in terms of your compliance. So for example, I'm showing you a screen from Tally, which tells you that a certain amount of tax should have been added within the system, but you have tried to generate an invoice which is which should be taxed at 5%, but you have forgotten to add the tax. So it gives you an error saying that you should be adding the tax rate here. This is the first step, right? It should prevent you from making mistakes, but there might still be situations where you might be sending this goods out of the country and it might be export. It might not be taxable. You might still accept the invoice as it is, but the system should be smart enough to identify where a customer or where the user might be doing mistakes and identify it for them. The next step which we were talking about, next characteristics which we were talking about was detection. If you have past transactions that a system feels that are not in compliance or that have some details which are not complete according to your compliance or in order to make your system compliant or in order to make your company compliant, then it should be able to identify said transactions and give you where the details or where there is a mismatch between the invoices that you have entered or between the transactions you have entered and the expectations that are there from the tax authority, right? So again, we are just displaying a screen where the system, where Tally Prime, which is our product, tells you that you have 13 transactions which are currently not in complete compliance or which need corrections. And then when you drill down, it tells you further details that there is a mismatch because there is the tax amount which has been modified in the voucher. It could also be that you've raised an invoice without having the TRN details of the customer mentioned in the voucher, and so on. And it should help you go ahead and make these corrections. So I can just go ahead, press enter again, and go ahead and see where the details are. So when I say, for example, we are taking the tax invoice mismatch, the system is telling me that as per the system's calculation, it should be 52.5, but as per the transactions that have been entered, we don't have any tax mentioned in the invoice. So it allows me to do the correction immediately so that I don't have to go back and recheck everything one by one. It only highlights the mistakes that I have done and assists me in correcting all these mistakes. Right? Now, once we have gone through the whole process, or once the system helps me prevent, which reduces the chances of making any errors, it helps me detect errors that I've already made and helps me correct them. It should take you to the last mile, which is the last step in generating what we call the tax form 201, which looks something like this. Now, UAE tax authority still does not allow us to directly submit tax through the system because of security concerns. So in turn, what we have done is we have enabled the system to generate a replica of the tax form that you will see online, right? So you can just look at the tax form which is generated by the system. It gives you the values filled in each and every column, in each and every cell. So you can just look at these values and replicate it in the tax form which you get in your tax portal on the FTA site, and then submit it. So rest assured, if all the transactions have been entered in the system, your VAT will be in compliance to what is required by the government. Right? Now, these are the basic aspects of Tally Prime. And as we have entrepreneurs and small businesses within our attendees today. As a company, Tally is extending a free trial of our main flagship product, Tally Prime. You all can scan the QR code and register. You will get a 30-day free trial of the system, which will enable you to maintain and record all transactions for the next 30 days. Try your hands at the system, and if you have any further doubts, you can always get back to us and call us. Our number is also mentioned below. It is 0425950065. You can get in touch with us and we will help you in order to implement the system as well, if once you've installed it, and take you through basic training so that you can start recording transactions, viewing reports, looking at your various MIS, and see how it helps you evolve your business and grow further. Now, if you have any questions, I will be taking any questions before we go ahead with the session. I hope I was not too fast and we were able to, everyone was able to follow.
It was really nice, Mohammed. It was very useful and informative, honestly. I think everyone enjoyed your session. We have, I think, a couple of questions here.
There's one question, I think, Hetal, that's for you. How much time does all the planning require to
Yes, how
legalize?
much time does all the planning require to legalize the business? Okay, in terms of legalizing, that is basically getting the trade license and everything. It requires approximately 15 to 20 working days in terms of the entire process. Guys, this is the time for you to ask questions related to e-commerce and related to Tally. If you have any questions, to understand or specific query related to Tally, Mr. Mohammed will be happy to answer that and explain, in details. Mohammed, we have a question for you.
Yep, sorry.
No problem. So we have a question from.
So Tally does help in sending out performer invoices. In fact, Tally is a system gives you access to even generate. So we cover all the steps in a particular sales and purchase cycle. So you can start from the very beginning, from generating a quotation to sending a sales order, sending a a delivery note, you know, raising a performer invoice against the delivery note, raising an invoice against the performer invoice, and receiving the payment. So it covers all the steps in a purchase and sales cycle. You will be able to do the same in terms of purchase also, and in terms of sales also.
Perfect. Okay.
If anyone wants a detailed demo of the product also, they can get in touch with us, and we will help you with, you know, the various aspects of how it can be best for your business.
Yes, guys, you will be able to get in touch with Mohammed, directly, and they can give you a full demo, a detailed demo on how Tally works and operates. What are the the wonderful features that they have. So after the session, please feel free. If you guys want, Mohammed to contact you, please leave us the details so we can get in touch with you. Right? I think on the chat we have question where it says, will this session be will be recorded? Yes, the session will be recorded and shared with everyone. And there was another question. How can I reach customers, fashion to get more? Okay, I'm not very sure about what exactly that means, but I'm assuming that you are asking about how reach out to more people. Digital marketing is the way to reach out to more people in terms of your social media, in terms of promoting your website, on Google. That's how you're going to get, visibility on your brand. And that's how people will, more people will be informed about your brand and get in touch with you.
So, Hetal, can we just go back to one slide to the QR code, please?
Sure. Let me do that for you. So this is the QR code, guys, and you can reach out to Mohammed through this QR code.
So all the attendees can just scan the QR code and register and get in touch with us, and we will contact you all one by one in order to give you a detailed explanation of how the system can best be implemented for your business, and then help you in using it for the next 30 days so that you can experience it and then try it out. Another question that I'd seen is how easy would it be for SMEs to use the system? The basic advantage of using a system like Tally is that it is pretty self-explanatory and it is a plug-and-play product. So you will need just 15 minutes to install, configure your business, and start raising invoices, and that is very quick. So the installation together all together will take just 2 minutes, but in order to register and start using, it will take an overall 10 minutes for you to use the system. The other advantage of using a system like Tally is it is a perpetual license. So you don't have a recurring cost. You just have to pay for the license once, and then you can use it for your lifetime. So that is another advantage of using a system like Tally for SMEs.
That's wonderful, Mohammed. Guys, any more questions? Please scan the QR code and then you can get in touch with Mohammed, get your 30 days free trial and understand how Tally works, right? In terms of business consulting, you can get in touch with us. And emails will be sent out to you. So if you want, any one-on-one session for business consulting in terms of how to set up your business in UAE, please do get in touch with us. Hi, Karishma. How much does a license cost roughly? Okay. The license, e-commerce platform license usually starts from 6,000 dirham. Again, depending on which authority we register the platform, and again, do you require visas? Do you require office space? All these things, are considered. Any other questions, guys, for Blue Crayon and for Tally?
Just in case that question was for the Tally license, so I'll answer that also,
Yes,
Hetal.
please. Yes,
So
please.
Tally Prime is basically available in two flavors, which is silver, which is a single user, and then there's Tally Prime Gold, which is multi-user. Silver costs 2340 plus tax. That's in dirhams, right? And a multi-user costs 7020 plus tax.
Wonderful. Thank you, Karishma. Great, you got answers from both of us. Guys, any other further questions you have for us? For Tally, please reach out, scan the code, and you will be able to, get in touch with them directly, and you'll be able to get a 30-day trial with them, right? In terms of business consulting, please get in touch with us for more details, one-on-one session on what kind of business licenses are suitable for your business.
Hetal, are we running the poll?
Sure, I will be running the poll now in terms of how informative the session was. Um, Guys, the poll is up. Please feel free to answer a few questions.
Hetal, there's another question for you. I think while the poll is running, you can maybe answer that.
Sure. Hey Vishal, how quick is it to obtain a residency visas once the setup is done? Okay, so after the license setup is done, it takes approximately 10 working days for us to get your residency, your entry permit, medical, Emirates ID, and the visa stamping to be completed. It takes approximately 10 working days. Also, right now in UAE, the visas for outside country, if you're outside the country, when I say outside the country, if you're outside UAE, you need to be inside UAE for your visa, to be issued. Thank you so much for the poll, guys. It really means a lot. Really appreciate your time and effort. Any other questions in terms of related to business setup in UAE, or in terms of any questions for Tally? So this will be our contact details for getting in touch with us for your any query for your business related, setting up a business, e-commerce. It could be any kind of business. Feel free to get in touch with us through these email address or contact details. An email will be sent to you from our end. So if you would wish to set up a one-on-one meeting with us to discuss further, please feel free to do that. Salman, do you have anything else to say, before we end this session? I think Salman is not here. We'll wait for him to come back.
I think, Ketal, it's fine. We've done our part. We just hope
Perfect.
everybody likes the session, and yes, they can get in touch with our team. We'll be looking forward to connecting with them.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Priyesh. Yes.
Yeah, just wanted to wish a happy Holi to everyone. And
happy Holi to you and happy Holi to everyone. Thank you so much, guys, for attending this session, and we're looking forward to getting in touch with you, and hope you have enjoyed, the session.